The following program is an opinion program. The opinions expressed by the hosts and guests of this program are not the opinions of the management, staff, and advertisers of this station. Please direct all criticism, concern, and adulation to the hosts of this program.
Welcome to Guerrilla Politics. Thank you very much for joining us today. We've got a lot to get into. I'm radio talk show host Dale Jackson. I host a radio show on News Talk, 770 AM, 92.5 FM, WVNN in North Alabama. You can hear my show from 7 to 11 a.m. at WVNN.com and on various mobile apps. Dr. Burke, a doctor of political science at Calhoun Community College, is my co-host. And every week we try to walk you through the important stories of the week. We'll get to that here in just a quick second, but don't forget, go to yellowhammernews.com right now. Sign up for my email blast, the 7 things you should be talking about today, and every day you will get a quick little email delivered right to you with 7 things you should be talking about on that day, and trust me, you'll talk about all those things throughout the day. Yellowhammernews.com, that's how you get there. Scott Dawson, a candidate for governor on the Republican side, is supposed to be here to discuss his campaign with us. As of right now, he's not here. We'll see if he shows up. Let's get to the 2-minute warning. Dr. Burke, lots to get into, and the big one is this Kay Ivey situation. It involves Scott Dawson. Now, I had an interview with Scott Dawson on my radio show this week, which may be why he's not here. If he does show up, we'll continue that conversation. But Scott Dawson made the allegation that an organization that serviced LGBTQ individuals should not have received any grant money at all. When that allegation was made, former state representative Patricia Todd came out and said that Ivey was gay, the governor, the person who's involved in those grants. Now, there's a lot to get into here. We could talk about the grant process and all these other things if we want to. We'll get into that later. Did Scott Dawson know what he was doing? These allegations, bear with me, these allegations have been around about Ivey for a long time, percolating in the background. I think everyone involved in politics has heard them before. Dawson had to know by bringing this up that somebody would come out and allege that Kay Ivey was gay, right? That was the play, right?
I have to think that was the intention of it. But the fact is, if he doesn't understand the way pass-through works, then I'm not sure he should be running the administration of the state of Alabama.
I asked him. I said, sir, if you're in this office and the federal government ties some of these LGBTQ grants to other grants like domestic violence grants and things like this, would you give up those 90% because 10% of it's supposed to go to LGBTQ? And he said, yes.
Well, I mean, that's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
The fact is that he's trying to play this card sort of through the back door. And I don't know if it'll benefit him or not, but I do think it's shameful.
I don't think he's going to show up here for this interview, so I'm just going to say.
I've got my doubts.
I'm just going to say this. The grant process, he acknowledged he didn't understand. He didn't know any of it, but he went around the state talking about it. And the reason why he went around the state talking about it on this issue is so we would be having this conversation right now. He's getting exactly what he wants, but it's not going to turn out the way he wants. Moving on, gambling in the state of Alabama. Dr. Burke, I don't know if you guys know this huge gambling problem. He told me about the time he went to a Trump casino and won like $25. But in all seriousness, the state of Alabama has the same opportunity that the rest of the country has right now. The Supreme Court struck down a national ban on sports betting. Now, I love sports betting. I love all gambling. Roulette, blackjack, sports gambling, all of it. I love it. Would love to have it here in the state of Alabama. Mississippi already moving in this direction. Vegas to the rest of the country. Hey, bring it on. Is there any chance in Alabama we see a move to actually legalize sports betting? By the way, I placed 2 bets this week on my radio show just to prove that I could still gamble even without this. Is Alabama going to legalize this?
Well, first of all, I did take Donald Trump for $25, and I think that may have been the brick out of his empire that caused it all to collapse. I wouldn't hold my breath. I don't know if some of our political leaders believe that makes us holier than Mississippi or whatever, but there will be a concerted effort, I'm sure, to prevent that from happening. We've talked about the lottery many times. The lottery, they're giving away free community college tuition in Tennessee, and Alabamians are paying for it.
Okay, so here's the fun thing.
And the last time we had a lottery vote, of course, the gamblers in Mississippi financed the campaign against it.
Let's talk about this for a second. You're making the biggest mistake that anyone who wants to talk about this is making. The idea that if we did this, we have to create some new programs to spend it on is laughable. Every week you sit here and talk about roads are underfunded, schools are underfunded, everything's underfunded, yet an opportunity comes to get more money and you say, what new can we create when you should be saying, let's do it?
I did not ask what new we could create. What I've said in my communication with you and others is that we need some way to plug that looming hole in the general budget that's coming.
Well, you talked about community college and all that other stuff.
Within the next quadrennium.
Okay.
Because there are going to be major problems.
Should they do it?
Oh, I think we should, yes.
Should they split the money into programs that already exist or create new ones?
I would say we need to look at shoring up where the big holes in the budget are going to come. That would be the smart thing to do.
You've come around to my side. I like it. All right, moving on. Sue Belcob. We've talked about this a little bit, and her story has only gotten worse. But luckily for her, she's a Democrat, so we're not going to talk about her all that much because for some reason the Alabama media took a couple weeks off when she had a scandal going where she hired a rapist. And B, we've got this Scott Dawson, Kay Ivey thing going on, and so she gets bumped to like the third thing. Now listen, here's the real story on this, though. She blamed the police for arresting a rapist she hired to work on her campaign that was working at a church with a daycare. She said it was politically motivated because the Republican sheriff arrested her guy. Quite possibly the worst way she could have handled this story. Again, thank God she's a Democrat, Dr. Burke. Could she have handled this any worse?
Well, first of all, let me say this about Chief Justice Cobb. She has long been an advocate of dealing with people and finding them opportunities to get out of prison, because I've heard her speak on this.
Knocking doors for your political campaign?
I am not advocating that, and you know that. But I am saying that she understands that once people do get out of prison, and most people do, they need a way to make a living. Now, it would appear to me that this was not the best way to do it. This man had served 30 years in prison, as I understand, and he was supposedly an associate pastor or whatever, and I guess under the philosophy that, God loves sinners and forgives sinners, that type of thing. But the fact is, crimes involving sex, those are much more difficult than anything. Those scare people more than anyone. But to answer your question directly, I don't know if I would have blamed the sheriff or not, but I did think that the way the sheriff's office responded was very political, and they went on to lecture her and so forth.
Dr. Burke, there was a rapist working in a daycare. Are you crazy?
Well, he claimed to be reformed, but I don't know. I don't know the man.
Dr. Burke, you hired this guy to come around your grandkids?
No, I wouldn't.
Okay, I want to make sure. Make sure we understand that. All right, moving on. Dr. Burke tells us every single week, this is the week that they got Donald Trump. So here we are again.
Never have said that. Never have said that.
Is this the week where they get Donald Trump? Probably not. Because Rudy Giuliani, the president's lawyer, said that in his conversations with the special counsel and his team, he has been told that they will not indict the president of the United States. So let me tell you what this means. Even if they find he is super, mega, ultra guilty, they will not be indicting him. So this leads us to believe a couple of things, or at least it should lead us to believe a couple of things. One, there will not be criminal charges coming against the president of the United States. That seems pretty clear. And two, this thing is probably almost over. Dr. Burke, I'm going to ask you a direct question. Looking for a direct answer. Is Trump free and clear at this point? And then you can say whatever you want to say after that.
No, I don't think. I think there's legally clear, and there other, are you clear in the eyes of the public? And as far as Giuliani, I mean, the fact is, with Giuliani's behavior in the past weeks and even prior to that.
Are you saying he's lying?
I don't. He has flip-flopped on everything. I mean,
What's
even the president has disavowed. About the payment to Stormy, he paid her, he didn't pay her.
Giuliani didn't flip-flop on that.
Yes, he has talked about that.
He's talked about it. He hasn't flip-flopped on it.
Anyway.
It's just not true.
Where the president repudiated it, and then later came back and admitted it.
The president has flip-flopped. Giuliani has not.
Hey, their credibility in telling the truth is so bad that I don't know if you can believe anything they say. But to more direct to your question, I've heard those who say, well, nothing has happened. There's nothing out there. 19 people have been indicted. At least 3 have pleaded guilty.
0 for collusion.
I am not saying that he's guilty of collusion, and I never have.
Okay.
But I think we need to know, was he involved, or were people who are associates of his involved? And I think Mueller, in the end, will tell us.
Mueller has made it clear he's going to follow DOJ guidance on this. That's where this is mostly coming from on this. So
it may not be good to indict a sitting president.
I'm sorry, I forgot to ask you the question. Is this the week they get him?
Dale, I have never suggested that. You were just misrepresenting this point to our viewers.
All right, let's move on to the last thing here. Animals. You know, what are animals? Well, animals are MS-13 members, rapists, you know, people like that. I would refer to them as animals. But apparently, if you're president of the United States, specifically referring to members of MS-13, a violent Mexican street gang that is responsible for rapes, murders, and all sorts of crimes in the United States, which does come in illegally through the southern border. Referring to those individuals as animals is apparently out of line. In fact, the media is saying that he was referring to, quote, some immigrants as animals, and that's out of line. Those some immigrants were MS-13. It was very clear by his comments. The first question is, why are they lying about this? That's number one. But the sub-question, MS-13, animals?
Well, first of all, Dale likes to say that when he speaks of the media that they all speak with one voice.
Pretty much.
That's not the case.
Pretty much.
And I've read some of those headlines, and I think they're very misleading. And I've read other headlines.
Are they animals? MS-13 animals?
I think they're very bad people if they're guilty of these things. And some people would probably describe them as animals.
Some people. People would say
but the fact is, dangerous people who commit heinous crimes, they may be animals. But I don't think that was the purpose here. I think the purpose of Trump, he usually likes to use inflammatory language to get people excited and bent out of shape. Nobody is going to support violent criminals.
Well, Dale, it seems like our friends in the mainstream media are more than willing. Look, here, over the last week, here's what's happened. Just check this out. Donald Trump supporters have been called racist. NRA members have been called terrorist. The Gaza protester guys who were attacking the gate, and 50 of them who were Hamas members died, those guys are protesters. And these guys don't call MS-13 animals. You know, all of that's coming from the media.
Dale, that sounds like Soviet realism from back in the day when that only ships
What part of what I just said is untrue? What part of what I just said is untrue?
Dale, you are picking specific little situations out of a sea of stories and trying to claim that that's what the mainstream
Were those guys
news media
protesters
are
in Gaza?
pushing.
Were those guys protesters?
I don't think they're protesters. I think they're they were really what's the word I would
terrorists.
like to use? Yeah,
they were Hamas terrorists.
They're launching attacks against Israel.
By the way, I just want to make something clear before we end this segment. In this world where this guy lives, speaking very bluntly and plainly is some sort of Soviet-era speak. He's so wrapped up on the Russians, he doesn't know what to do.
That is so absurd.
Everything's the Russians
that
for Dr.
is so
Berg.
absurd.
All right, comrade, we'll be right back. Hey folks, Dale Jackson here from my good friend Matt Curtis and the Matt Curtis Real Estate Team. And I'm here to tell you about Matt Curtis's Instant Offer. It's their new program they've unveiled to help you sell your house with absolutely no hassle, no showings, and you're on your way to your dream house. Now, Matt Curtis, he's a pro. He's got a team full of pros ready to help you sell your house, and now the Instant Offer is just another opportunity to move your house quickly. Call Matt Curtis today, 256-333-MOVE, and check him out online at mattcurtisrealestate.com.
RVing, still an American pastime.
At Premier Dental, you'll always be welcome with a big smile and a friendly professional team. Our services include everything from children's dentistry to dentures and everything in between, including cosmetic dentistry, Invisalign, implants, and much more. We accept most insurances, offer bilingual services, and even offer in-house financing. So call us at 256-469-6428 or visit premierdental.org. We're looking forward to seeing your smile soon.
Hey folks, Dale Jackson here from my good friends at University Kia. If you are looking for a great vehicle, whether a car or an SUV, you're looking for a great price, you need to go see my friends at University Kia. Calvin, Arthur, and all the guys down there are going to help you find the perfect vehicle for you and your family at an absolutely amazing price. Go online to universitykia.com. Check out their great selection of new and pre-owned vehicles. And when you go see my friends at University Kia, make sure you tell them Dale Jackson sent you.
Want fun, safe, intelligent fitness programming? Want to build muscular strength, cardiovascular endurance, drastically improved range of motion and mobility, and learn proper nutrition to fuel your life with energy and emotional health? Well, come find out why Iron Tribe Fitness is ranked one of the top 5 fitness programs in America. Come find out why personal training and intentionally working on your current movement patterns individually is not only important, it's just another core value that separates Iron Tribe Fitness from other fitness facilities.
To learn how to get your 2-week free pass, go to irontribefitness.com.
Hey folks, Dale Jackson here for my friends at Made Pro. With me today is Cindy and my dogs Savage and Sarge.
As you can tell, these dogs are a handful, and if it weren't for Made Pro, I wouldn't put up with any of them.
That's absolutely true, folks. Made Pro comes once a week to my house, and they keep it clean. They keep my marriage happy, and they keep these dogs happy as well. Call them today, 256-585-6628. Check them out online at madepro.com. And when you talk to Made Pro, make sure you tell them Dale Jackson sent you.
RVing, still an American pastime.
Hey folks, Dale Jackson here for my good friends at Rocket City Property Management. I'm a busy guy. I've got a TV show. I got a radio show, and I write for YellowHammerNews.com. I don't have time to manage my rental property. That's where Rocket City Property Management comes in. They handle everything. They collect the rent. They find the renter. They do every single thing I need them to do, and I don't have to worry about it at all. Go to RocketCityPropertyManagement.com today and learn more. They'll manage your property for you. And when you talk to my friends at Rocket City Property Management, tell them Dale Jackson sent you.
I'm Will Ainsworth. Would you be more worried if the career politicians holding Alabama's future hostage looked like this? Career politicians might not wear masks and break in during the night, but they're just as dangerous. They're bought and paid for by special interests, and they're stealing from us. I'm Will Ainsworth. I'm a proud Christian conservative, and I'm ready to fight the Montgomery crooks and career politicians to save Alabama's future.
Will Ainsworth for Lieutenant Governor.
Welcome back to Guerrilla Politics. I'm Dale Jackson. With me, as always, my co-host, Dr. Wayman Burke. Normally in this segment of the program, we are joined by a political figure of some sort, and we discuss some of the issues of the day. Unfortunately, this week, next to my friend in the empty suit, we have an empty seat. It's supposed to be filled by Scott Dawson, a Republican candidate for governor, but because I had a run-in with him on my radio show this week, he no-showed our show today. Now, he could have told us, and we would have gladly rebooked somebody else, but he didn't. Dr. Burke, just to clarify this, you reached out to him, you asked if he was coming, he did not respond, correct?
Correct, and I had booked him 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Okay, so because he did not show up, we're going to spend a little time here talking about why he didn't show up. Scott Dawson went around the state of Alabama this week and decided he was going to talk about something he knew nothing about. The grant process. Now, this is a boring issue, okay? You've never cared about this in your entire life, and you will never care about it again after this week. But Scott Dawson decided to make this, I guess, the last gasp of his campaign. And maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. But he's alleging that Kay Ivey was giving money to an LGBTQ group because she agrees with their philosophies. The implication here is that Kay Ivey went out of her way to feed money to this group. None of that is true. These ties come from the federal government. No question about it. They have these requirements. They have to go to certain populations, including minority, LGBTQ, and women, stuff like that. The strings are attached. 2 things happened during my interview with him. 1, he embarrassed himself by being exposed as somebody who was completely out of his depth. 2, he acknowledged that this was not about this particular group that got the money. It was about any gay group at any time receiving money, meaning that these people do not deserve the protection of federal dollars that come out and are put out through the governor's office. Dr. Burke, Kay Ivey did not personally sign off on this and say, give it to this group. I really love what they do. So why did Scott Dawson imply that?
Well, you're right. She didn't, and he obviously is either trying to besmirch her, which I think is the real reason,
yes,
or he has a complete lack of understanding of how states and federal governments work on money.
It's both those things.
It very well could be. But what he did, I think, is shameful, but it was a way to try to bring this issue to the forefront through the back door, so to speak. He didn't have the courage to go out and just say it So he's using this as the excuse.
Now,
it appears to me.
Everyone in Alabama politics have heard these rumors about Kay
You hear rumors about everybody.
And
yes.
I don't know if you remember this, but a couple weeks ago, I don't know if I said it on this show, but on my radio show, I said there were rumors going around that Scott Dawson was going to raise the issue of KIV possibly being gay.
Independent of you.
Okay, so this information was out there bubbling, and that's what this was about.
Yes.
Now, you can have a problem with KIV being gay if she was or if she's not. I don't know. And the reality is I don't really care. It has very little impact on my life. KIV has not made this a key issue in her campaign, and I don't see in any way that it should impact her. The winner here, to be honest with you, is Tommy Battle. He had a press conference and he
had
said,
a classy response.
He said,
yes, he did.
He did Robert Bentley 2010.
Yes.
And he stood up in front of these guys who were fighting Tim James and Bradley Byrne at the time, and he said, like I do every single day, I said, look at these idiots. I said, look at these idiots. Why would I want to do this? I want to help the state of Alabama. And I think, so Battle's the winner here, right?
I think he probably is, but I have to think it probably will help, at least with some groups of voters, Scott Dawson.
So Scott Dawson wins in all this too?
I think he may, unfortunately.
Okay. All right. Again, the empty seat is here because we gave Scott Dawson an opportunity to speak directly with you about this and other issues before this was even an issue in our minds. He passed. Now, you could decide what that means, but I'll tell you right now, he doesn't care about you. Hey folks, Dale Jackson here from my good friends at University Kia. If you are looking for a great vehicle, whether a car or an SUV, you're looking for a great price, you need to go see my friends at University Kia. Calvin, Arthur, and all the guys down there are going to help you find the perfect vehicle for you and your family at an absolutely amazing price. Go online to universitykia.com. Check out their great selection of new and pre-owned vehicles. And when you go see my friends at University Kia, make sure you tell them Dale Jackson sent you.
Want fun, safe, intelligent fitness programming? Want to build muscular strength, cardiovascular endurance, drastically improved range of motion and mobility, and learn proper nutrition to fuel your life with energy and emotional health? Well, come find out why Iron Tribe Fitness is ranked one of the top 5 fitness programs in America. Come find out why personal training and intentionally working on your current movement patterns individually is not only important, it's just another core value that separates Iron Tribe Fitness from other fitness facilities.
To learn how to get your 2-week free pass, go to irontribefitness.com.
Oh, the land of the free and the home of the brave.
RVing, still an American pastime.
I'm Will Ainsworth. Would you be more worried if the career politicians holding Alabama's future hostage looked like this? Career politicians might not wear masks and break in during the night, but they're just as dangerous. They're bought and paid for by special interests, and they're stealing from us. I'm Will Ainsworth. I'm a proud Christian conservative, and I'm ready to fight the Montgomery crooks and career politicians to save Alabama's future.
Will Ainsworth for Lieutenant Governor.
Hey folks, Dale Jackson here from my good friend Matt Curtis and the Matt Curtis Real Estate Team. And I'm here to tell you about Matt Curtis's Instant Offer. It's their new program they've unveiled to help you sell your house with absolutely no hassle, no showings, and you're on your way to your dream house. Now, Matt Curtis, he's a pro. He's got a team full of pros ready to help you sell your house, and now the Instant Offer is just another opportunity to move your house quickly. Call Matt Curtis today, 256-333-MOVE, and check him out online at mattcurtisrealestate.com.
At Premier Dental, you'll always be welcome with a big smile and a friendly professional team. Our services include everything from children's dentistry to dentures and everything in between, including cosmetic dentistry, Invisalign, implants, and much more. We accept most insurances, offer bilingual services, and even offer in-house financing. So call us at 256-469-6428 or visit premierdental.org. We're looking forward to seeing your smile soon.
RVing, still an American pastime.
Wayman Burke here for Russ Russell Commercial Real Estate Company. Russ Russell Commercial Real Estate is Huntsville's premier real estate company. If you need raw property for development, if you need office space, if you need retail space, you need to contact Russ Russell. Russ is a native Huntsvillian. He knows us, he knows our people, he knows business. 536-7777. 536-7777. RussRussell.com.
Hey folks, Dale Jackson here for my friends at Made Pro. With me today is Cindy and my dogs Savage and Sarge.
As you can tell, these dogs are a handful, and if it weren't for Made Pro, I wouldn't put up with any of them.
That's absolutely true, folks. Made Pro comes once a week to my house, and they keep it clean. They keep my marriage happy, and they keep these dogs happy as well. Call them today, 256-585-6628. Check them out online at madepro.com. And when you talk to Made Pro, make sure you tell them Dale Jackson sent you. Welcome back to Guerrilla Politics. As we wrap up the show today, Dr. Burke has a history lesson for you. And since gay Alabama politicians are all the rage, Dr. Burke will tell you about one on the national stage. I'll also give you a parting shot directed at everybody in Alabama who keeps saying things like, we're better than this, because I will remind you, we're not. Dr. Burke, take it away.
Dale, unfortunately, this issue of sexuality has entered the political campaign for governor, and I think that is regretful. But it's not the first time in our history that a person who was allegedly gay was in public office. And it goes back to the 19th century, a very famous senator from Alabama by the name of William Rufus King, who actually served for 6 weeks as Vice President of the United States. He ran with Franklin Pierce of New Hampshire, and he was his VP in 1852. He was frequently referred to as Miss Nancy and Miss Fancy, which were ugly ways to describe people's sexuality, apparently in the 19th century. But like I said, he died 6 weeks into office, and so he never actually served as vice president.
So he never actually served. Let me ask this question. Was he out?
Well,
out in the sense
I don't think he was out in the sense of standing on the street corner and yelling that I'm gay, no.
Okay.
But it was, according to many people of the era, they've referred using these ugly stereotypical terms, and many historians believe that it is true. He also lived for 13 years with future President James Buchanan, who some people claim was the first gay president.
They also claim Lincoln's gay. I mean,
now I think there's probably more evidence than just claiming.
All right. We do this revisionist thing now where we like to think that everybody's gay. Who knows? All right, let's get to the party shot. My party shot this week is directed at everyone who, even though we've been through this stuff 1,000 times, will sit there and wring their hands and say things like, aren't we better than this? No, we aren't better than this. We have proven that time and time again. We are not better than this. And by the way, this isn't an Alabama thing. I've lived in Florida and in Washington. I have lived across this country, and I'll tell you, we aren't better than this. This kind of stuff goes on absolutely everywhere. When people have an opportunity to get a political advantage, they will take that opportunity. This is not an only Alabama thing. And people who say that kind of stuff are denigrating Alabama like it's this wasteland where these things only happen here. That's garbage. And all the people acting like we're better than this, go back and look at the Clinton impeachment and look at Trump and see what they're saying. Both sides. They're all hypocrites. They're all not better than this, and we know that. So enough of this, aren't we better than this? No! You're not better than this, so knock it off. All right, let's continue. Dr. Burke, thank you very much for being here. Don't forget, go to yellowhammernews.com right now. Sign up for my email blast. You'll get the 7 things you should be talking about today delivered directly to your email inbox every single morning. You'll know everything that's going on in the state of Alabama and elsewhere. We'll be back next week here on Guerrilla Politics. Thanks for being here.